the ball. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Larry. With the distinctive pirate ship in the north end zone, we can only be in one place, and that's Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Just a minute ago, it was Jameis Winston leading his Buccaneers out of the tunnel. They're on their feet here in Tampa as the Bucs get set to match up with the Dallas Cowboys. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they come in off the very rare tie a game ago.
And it'll be interesting to see what their mindset is going into this game. Sometimes that can be a deflator, and sometimes that can just really make you mad and more determined the next time out.
So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback. They go play action here on first down. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a knock.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Alexander in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stand an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. That good for 22 and a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, where they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
That one goes for 24 yards.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
From the red zone now, Winston. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Let's go now.
3rd and long for Winston. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
So the folks here in the stands this afternoon, they're happy about that one. Their guys get the early advantage after the opening drive field goal.
And they should be happy. Their guys look good getting down the field, and that's got to give them hope that good things are in store here today.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. And let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. The power move there couldn't buy him much space. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down.
Let's go.
They'll drop the throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Buccaneers will take over at the 20. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
The first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from the Motor City. Early on, it's the Vikings in the driver's seat. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. 2nd down, Winston. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Winston now to throw on first down. And he rifles one incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive, as this is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Winston. Over the middle to Evans. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. And they'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So that scores now on their first 2 possessions, but it's 6-0. Probably not the kind of scores they were hoping for.
No, not at all, but I think that they've shown that they can have some success against this defense. So they'll go back to the sideline knowing the points are going to be there for the taking.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Now, that result is no surprise. This team is bringing back memories of what? The 85 Bears, the 2000 Ravens. Those teams were so great against the run, they made you abandon any plans of doing that when you played against them.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. He'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
He'll drop to throw, and this is going to be incomplete.
I have to say that was a surprise call on 3rd and inches. I thought they'd try and run the football there, but you got to believe they thought they'd surprise the defense and pick up something downfield, but that one goes incomplete.
And they won't try and pooch it. It's a fake, and the gamble pays off. They get the first. It's a gain of 4 that time, and that leads to a Dallas first down.
I'm not sure that the surprise was that they actually faked it. That's classic territory to go ahead and do it. The surprise to me is that they were successful. I'm not sure the defense was really prepared.
And now they're going to keep the drive alive here. Really big play on the fake punt.
Here we go. 3-19.
Now a play fake here on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Turner. And down inside the 15 he goes. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
On play action, they'll throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Well, too much oomph. Too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's 2nd down.
Here we go now.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. The Cowboys on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and forever. They're going to look to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. The dive unsuccessful. The big fella can't pick it up. An NFL update, 2nd quarter now in Jacksonville. And the Jags, they're out to an early lead there. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. The give is to Elliott. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They go to Elliott again. Sharp move, but can't find much space. Drop just inside the 20. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
Now back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And Bullock will put this one through. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So it's been a battle of field goals here early on. I guess if this were a soccer game, it'd be 2-1, but instead here it's now 6-3.
You mean if this were a football game? Give credit to both defenses, though. When push comes to shove here early, they've held the line. And neither of these offenses have been able to break through.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep,
run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. Basically, you're not going to outwork 2 guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else with the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
A second down throw for Winston. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. So off goes the franchise and Winston. And now all eyes here on the backup as he takes under center. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation instead. Tried to get all back in one play.
Yeah, 3rd and long. Thought he needed the deep pass. Couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty downfield to give him the yardage they needed.
And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Set up to throw. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Back to throw. A dump off to Elliott. So he got 3 on 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now it's Baldwin. An NFL update, second quarter now in Jacksonville. The Patriots, they're out to an early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. Second quarter here, he has only one catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, so far, just the single catch. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have the highlights of this first half, but he won't have touchdowns because we haven't had any to this point.
But there's still time, though, partner.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A great play there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. Didn't have anything downfield, swung it out to the flat. He did the rest.
Such a staple of so many offenses we see now. You know, in our discussions with offensive coordinators, how many times do they tell us, hey, this offense is designed for either a touchdown or a check down. We saw the check down on that play, and boy, was it successful.
We saw a touchdown, too. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8. The Cowboys looking to get going again in a hurry. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Back to throw here. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The Cowboys looking to get going again in a hurry. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. The power move there couldn't buy him much space. The Cowboys on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. From the pistol, here's Elliott. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. And we shift to spotlighting Mike Evans. He hasn't had his usual star-studded performance so far, but still the second quarter, and they're still up on the scoreboard.
And sometimes even as a decoy, you can have a big impact on the game, and that's what we've seen thus far. They're still able to get it done. They found other ways. They haven't had to utilize him as a top priority just yet, but you know he's waiting and available.
Yeah, now the question is, how will they utilize him here? So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
On third down, Winston. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Here's Brian Anger now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. An NFL update. Second quarter now in Jacksonville. And the Jags, they're out to an early lead there. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. And out now come the Cowboys. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They'll set up a throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet. Didn't look.
And he fires one that's intercepted. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And his guys have got it back at the closing. Stages of the first half. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's very
interception. Winston. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And actually, Larry, hold that thought. We're right back to the action. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. A look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. Able to slither by. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Chandler. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Get them back. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And to give this time to the tailback. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
The Bucs on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Working out of the gun. Winston. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. For a big guy, Jameis sure can move. Did a nice job there picking up the first down with his legs. He is tough to bring down, Jameis Winston. Charles, I remember calling a baseball game of his. He played baseball at Florida State, too. And you saw his legs, tree trunks sprayed in to those baseball pants. I said, how could anybody bring this guy down?
And that's part of the beauty of his game because he has that toughness, that thick body. He may not beat you sprinting, but he's real sharp with his mind, and he knows how to get away from people.
And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Now Winston. Man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Bucs on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Jameis to throw it. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
Then they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Second down, Elliott. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Looking to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. 23 yards on the play.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Throw left side complete. That's Turner. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it's a 2nd down. Back now in Tampa. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Strong run, but still wrangled before reaching the 20. That'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. He'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And Bullock will put this one through, and they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary first step.
Still plenty of time remaining, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3 and out.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. And right now they're in that number 2 spot. They'd love to hold on to that, but first things first, they want to clinch that division.
Well, let's go back to the conversation we had with the coaching staff, and you asked that very question about how important is it really? You've got a good team. Can't you win from any spot in the play? Look at us like we were crazy, right? You can do it from...
And that's caught inside the 30. They give him a gain of 38.
When Mike Evans sees man coverage, I don't think he's the only guy who gets excited. I'll guarantee the guy throwing the ball does, because guess what? He's got a lot of options about where to place it because of Mike Evans' size and frame.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now off to the races down the right side. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great effort there. His 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And he goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So the sack on first down there by the defense, and now it's 2nd down.
Green 39.
They'll drop to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Quan Alexander in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays.
Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw here. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He completes it to Bryant. First down, he'll drop to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw, and Bryant's got it over the middle. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They'll run it with Elliott. And that little deke, the juke move that we saw, able to give him the first down yardage before he's brought down. It's a gain of 9 yards. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something?
And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cowboys have cut it to within a score. It's up and good, a 7-point margin. It's 20-13 now. Bullock out now to kick this one away. This is taken near the 13. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Brandon's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento. What you really want to be is moderado. Nice and even, nice and steady, get those gains, and close out the game.
I think that chicken parm from last night's gone to your head.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Jameis now on first down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Touchdown, Tampa Bay! A big play there with touchdown number 3. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And the lead is up to 14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here comes a big tight end as he gets set for this next drive. And the numbers show it, low involvement early. But since he's been involved, it's been a good thing for this offense.
Indeed it has, and when you're able to finally get him going, get him fully integrated into the offense, things feel a whole lot better for your team. It expands everything that they do trying to move the football.
Throwing left side, it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. He'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Turner. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. The Cowboys looking to get going again in a hurry. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Back to throw. Out left side here to Bryant. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And the ball is knocked out, and the Buccaneers have it.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores. Pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
Now a handoff here to his running back. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Now a handoff looking right. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The Bucs on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Victory formation now for the Buccaneers. Down to a knee they go. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams